Well, the spring election is just a few weeks away, and on this year's ballot is Madison Mayor. It pits current Mayor Dave Cheslevich against former Mayor Paul Soglin. Paul Soglin joining us here this morning. Why did you want to get back into the game?
Well, I think because I saw all these problems that were so serious, so complicated, and I've never obviously lost my interest and concern for the city. I've got a deep love for this community, and I wanted to help fix it. And that's basically it. I said to Sarah one morning, should I do it as we discussed it? And she said, look, you're happiest when you're mayor. That settled it.
There you go. What did you learn while you've been away from it for a while?
Well, one thing for sure is that the lengthy, difficult council meetings can be avoided if the mayor does the job right. The mayor has got to bring in with the staff solid reports, show the options, show what we can do as possibilities. The other thing is that we've got to be able to deal with the question of poverty. We've got now 51% of our school kids are in households below the poverty line. We knew once that we could handle that, we could address it, we could minimize it. We can do it again with teamwork, really.
Boy, you talk about handling some difficult issues with the governor's budget. Where do you start with the city with a budget and no collective bargaining?
Well, I think there's three tracks we have to run, and we have to run them simultaneously. We have to immediately begin work on the 2012 budget. We have to adopt a strategy of dealing directly with the state, which is a combination of litigation as well as very, very tough and sensitive negotiations, because much of this is going to happen during the spring and the summer in legislation. And then thirdly, we have to prepare now. We have to start making adjustments to the 2011 budget. If we have to prepare for a worst case scenario. And that means we have to look to places, and we've already identified several $100,000 of cuts that I'd make the very first day in office.
As a resident, should residents of Madison prepare to make some adjustments as well, maybe some loss of services?
I think residents of Madison have to face up to that, but I think first they have to get ready to be involved. What we're going to need to do in the next coming months is have everyone involved in discussions for that worst case scenario. What is it that we're willing to see in terms of change of services? And simultaneously, let me also say, improvements. City staff has to be engaged, how we can make improvements, do things better. We have a long history of that. The quality work that we did in the 80s and 90s must be resurrected.
The residents of the city, too, have two pretty good candidates to select from. Where do you and Dave Cheslevich differ the most, you think?
I think in two different areas. One is how we work in terms of bringing folks together. You look at the folks who are supporting me. We've got, on one hand, neighborhood activists, large number of neighborhood activists, and on the other hand, a lot of developers. And they've pretty much been at one another over the last several years on a lot of issues, and yet they do recognize that they want a better city. We all have to work together, and they think that I can really facilitate that, make it happen, provide that leadership. The second area is just an overall day-to-day management. The city's cost for services per capita was lowest when I was mayor in the past, and we're going to do that again.
Let me ask you, in the few seconds we have remaining, just your impressions of what you've seen at the Capitol of late, because you were at the height of the Vietnam era. I mean, you've seen some demonstrations in your day.
I probably haven't missed a major demonstration in over 40 years. I've never seen anything like it. And I said that the first week, and of course it just got bigger and bigger since then. But we never reached crowds larger than 20, 25,000. And the diversity, the range of people who are there, Teamsters and teachers, child care workers and firefighters, corrections officers, and advocates for parolees. I mean, everybody is there, and the peaceful nature of it and the sense of connection where people are taking responsibility is just, I've never seen anything like it.
Well, we'll leave it at that, Paul Soglin. Thank you very much
for
coming in, sir. And we want to mention that we did interview Dave Cheslevich last week on News 3 This Morning. That interview, if you want to see it, can be found at channel3000.com. We'll be right back.